Hi, I'm Erica. Welcome to my channel. Do all that YouTube stuff down below and let's get going. So today we are going to do a full face of a spring look that's anything but unicorn, hopefully. So let's just get started. I am still trying out the e.l.f. Beauty Shield, so we're going to start with that. And as I mentioned in another video, I am working on a e.l.f. skincare video. So if you don't want to miss that, make sure you subscribe. So the inspiration for my video today is obviously spring, but it's also because of my other video that I did talking about the Wet n Wild Goth collection that I just didn't feel lived up to the name. You know, I got a couple comments on Twitter and a couple on the video that said, well, there's this thing called pastel goth. I'm like, well, I know that's a thing, but the problem is that they billed it as the Death to Unicorn collection and then gave us a pastel collection. And it's like, oh, I'll worry about that later. Actually, can I? Yeah, I can worry about it later. Okay, so anyways, you know, you can't say something is, you know, your Death to Unicorn collection and then, you know, give us more pastels. The only difference was, you know, there's skulls on it instead of unicorns. So I was just like, this is not Death to Unicorns. This is just you disguising unicorns as something else. So I wasn't pleased with it. There was one piece of the collection that was kind of like gothy, and that was like a dark gray lipstick. And as I also mentioned in that video, the Wet n Wild Metallic collection of liquid catsuits are just absolute garbage. The formula is just absolutely disgusting. And so the only goth part of the collection was a dud, you know, or, you know, my definition of what it should have been as goth. So I thought to myself, well, you know, how would I have done it? You know, what would I have done to make a collection that was, you know, not unicorn, but still a springy collection? Because that is a hard line to cross, because, you know, in the spring, you know, people want pastels, they want, you know, fun, bright colors, but you just can't always, you know, but, you know, we're obviously all tired of the unicorn thing, and, you know, maybe it's because, you know, we're forced to deal with it all year round now. And maybe if they just brought them out in the spring, maybe we would all tolerate them a little bit more. But I don't know. So I brightened up around my brows with the Wet n Wild brow highlighter, and right now I'm just going along the tail of my brows with the Maybelline Brow Tattoo. I bought this maybe about 2 months back. One of my first videos was on that, and I'll link that here. And I was an idiot. So what happened was I bought this thinking this was like the brow tattoo that they've had over in Europe for a while. So I watched a bunch of YouTube videos of a bunch of British YouTubers reviewing this product. And then, like, the next day I walked into a store and it was there, and I was so excited. So I, you know, went home and I slapped a bunch of it on my brows, you know, like really, really thick, because in the UK version you peel it off. Well, you can't do that with the versions that came out in the US. So I was sitting there trying to peel it, realized it wasn't peeling, so I went back and looked at the directions, found out that was not what that product is supposed to do. But it is supposed to last for 2 days. So I am sitting there, and now I'm just using my L'Oreal Brow Stylist to fill in the front of my brows. It's not supposed to come off for 2 days, so I'm like, oh, how am I going to get this off? Because now I just look ridiculous. I've got like chunks in my brows, and I'm just like, oh, this is bad. This is really bad. and I ended up having to use nail polish remover to get it off of my brows. So it was pretty embarrassing. But I really wish, well, Alame has one now too that is actually like the British version, and I tried that too. I didn't want to do a video on it though because I wasn't thrilled with it. I mean, it's not that I don't want to do videos on things I don't like. It's just that, I don't know, I didn't use it enough to really like it or dislike it. And I thought it was going to be something a little bit more convenient, and it ended up pulling out a lot of my brows, and I don't know. If you want me to do the video, a full video on it, I will, but it's, you know, it also comes down to I would have to edit it because you have to leave that stuff on forever. So I'd have to, you know, film myself putting it on and then go back and edit and put together a video, and I just don't have time for that. So, I'm just gonna go back in with my brow highlighter real quick and just tighten this all up. And okay. Alright, so next we are going to prime with my Maybelline Master Prime. I think I am almost out of this stuff. I don't know if I'm going to repurchase. I'm probably not going to immediately, and I'm just going to kind of see how my eyeshadow holds up without it, and just go back to using concealer like I was doing before. And if I find that there is a huge difference, I'll probably repurchase it. But I've mentioned in another video that I just don't see the point in buying a high-end eyeshadow primer. And then we're just going to set that with my Wet n Wild Creme Brulee. So next we are going to go in on the eyes with my so we're going to use two palettes today because I don't have all of the colors that I want in one palette. And we're going to start with the Warm Brown Obsession, and then we're going to grab some greens out of my Take Me Back to Brazil palette. And that is one reason I think that everybody should have at least one bright, colorful palette, because, you know, if you have a lot of neutrals in your collection, or, you know, just, you know, if you just have your basic palette, you're not going to get a lot of these colors in here. And if you didn't see my video on this, there you go. So, this was only $16. It's BH Cosmetics. So if you have been interested in getting into color and you just, you know, you don't want to spend, you know, $50 for a Kat Von D palette, that one is absolutely amazing. The colors are amazing on it. So let me put my brushes in. Alright, and we are going to start with just this warm-ish, well, this, I think it's actually a cool brown, but this is this light brown tone on the palette down at the bottom. We're going to take my round brush, and we are going to put that on the occipital orbit. You guys probably didn't know you also get biology classes when you watch my videos. I actually took, I actually went to art school for 2 years. I studied fine art, and that was actually one of the required classes was anatomy, and it was rough for me. I came from a pretty lazy high school. I mean, we were, you know, we were considered a great school district, but, you know, I don't know if it was just a combination of the teachers or what, but I just had lazy teachers throughout high school, and I just never learned how to study because my teachers never made me learn how to study. You know, I actually had one professor, or one teacher, because it was high school, not professor, who literally gave us the answers the day before the test. He'd just be like, okay, this is what's on the test tomorrow, and we'd go through the whole test and answer all the questions. And all we had to do was take notes that day, go home and memorize those notes, and we could come back the next day and pass the test. And so, like, anatomy was my first, like, real college course. And I was, so, like, before the first test, I was like, so what's going to be on the test tomorrow? And she goes, we'll just study chapter 1. And I'm like, what? Like, all of chapter 1? Or she's like, well, I don't understand. I'm like, yeah, neither do I. So, we're going to go in with this nice round brush, and we're going to pick this darker green here, and we're going to do a halo eye. Now, don't get scared. I know when I first was watching people do these, I was like, seriously, this looks really difficult. But it's really not. So all we're going to do is go on the outer third of the eye and the inner third. And then we're just going to blend that in straight into your crease, your actual crease. Just like that. Super easy, right? We're just basically just skipping over that small section in the middle. Okay. And kind of my inspiration for this look is kind of, you know, the woods, the forest, you know, nature without the unicorns. So we're going in with, and the same thing on this side, inner third, outer third, and straight into the crease. So I just want to make sure this is all nicely blended out. So you see inner third, outer third, into the crease. So next we're going to go in with this just white concealer, Maybelline. I've had it for a while, and we're just gonna tap that in the center of our eye like that. I think I need a little bit more. Okay, now we're going to take a smaller round brush. If I can find it. There it is. And we are going to go back in, and we're just going to use this lightest green right there between the yellows. And we're just gonna dab that right in there. Yeah, don't worry that this looks insane, because we're gonna get there. So we're just gonna put that right on over the white and kind of blend it. You don't have to worry too much about blending it in at this point, because we're gonna go and put back in with the darker color and blend that in to the lighter color. So we're going to do that now. Take back out that round brush and that green, and we're just going to go in on the outsides of this and blend it in like a rainbow over that color. And we're going to just blend it until it looks more natural. And any corners, sharp edges, whatever you want to call them, are kind of eliminated. So just like that. See, easy enough. It's just about your blending. So next we're going to go in with my favorite Wayne Goss brush, number 18, and go back into my Huda Beauty. And we're just going to go in with that nice dark shade right there, and that's going to go into between the occipital and the your actual crease. So just down here like that. And up. And if this blends out some of that green that's got into your crease, that's absolutely fine. And we're just going to keep blending that out until it's nice and smooth. Alright. And this side. Blend, blend, blend. If you take nothing away from my videos, I hope that it's nothing else away from my videos. I hope that it is blending, because that is the big reason I don't want to edit my videos, because I want people to see and learn that blending has to be done. You know, fast forwarding through it, playing some music and doing a cut scene, you know, like other YouTubers do, you're just not seeing how long it really takes and the real technique behind getting these looks. And that's why, you know, when I watch videos on Halo Eyes, I'm like, whoa, 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 wait, go back, what happened there? Because one minute it looks insane, and the next minute you're like, oh, well, that doesn't look insane anymore, but I don't know what you did. So, I'm just having a little bit of trouble blending out this spot right there. I just put a little too much, so we're just going to even that out. Put a little too much right there, too. Alright. Coincidentally, I almost ordered a pair of jeans in this like lime green color that I have in the halo part of my eye right now. They're like 14 bucks on clearance, and it's this close. And I was like, no. The last thing I need right now is another pair of pants, but I'm sure that, you know, in another month or two I'm gonna be going, I wish I would have ordered those. Because spring is almost here. We're still in February right now, but it will be here very soon, March 20th. First day of spring. I'm so excited. And then we're just gonna go in with a makeup wipe and corner to corner and just clean that up. Corner of your eye to the corner of your brows. And you get a really nice sharp line. And it looks it's kind of cat eye-esque. So there we go. All right. So let us move on to my face. And for my face today, we are going to, I've already done my moisturizer, so let's go in with my primer, and it is the Ordinary High Adherency Silicone. This is my absolute favorite primer. It is $4.90, and it's one of the items now available at Sephora.com from The Ordinary. All right. And I want to go in real quick with it's just kind of just a flat synthetic brush, and just to blend out that upper brow highlight a little bit. before we get started. If you blend it out a little bit before, it won't be as hard to blend out later, and it won't stand out as much, because you don't want like crazy upper highlighted brows. So today for my foundation, I'm trying something new. It is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD. It's a sample. I'm actually really excited about this because I don't think I've ever tried anything from Makeup Forever. And I know, right? I don't know, just nothing from the line really ever spoke to me, and, you know, for their price point, you know, it's just like, I really don't need it. But, I use a website called Pinch Me, and it's a company that sends you free samples every month. Well, not every month, but they send you free samples of things when you match their partner's criteria. So I was using it when my daughter was first born. I was pretty religious about using it. Every Tuesday you get online and they have different samples picked out from their different partners, and if you match the criteria, you know, based on your profile that their partners are looking for, they'll send you free samples. So when I first started using it, it was great. I was getting, you know, cool stuff for around the house, and I mean, not cool stuff, but, you know, like sponges and just, you know, nice things to have around the house, snacks, that kind of thing. And as my daughter started getting older, they stopped doing it like on a weekly basis, and it got to the point where, you know, you go like 6 weeks where they wouldn't have anything even available. And then it got to the point where the only thing I was getting was cat and dog food, which was nice. You know, it was, you know, not like full bags of it, but it was like little nice size sample bags or cans of cat food. And I just need a little more coverage down here on my neck. And so you know, it was like, it just kind of fell out of love with it, and I just wasn't using it as much. Because when you get packages in the mail, you want those packages to be for you, not for your dog or your cat. So I fell out of love with it, and I stopped using it. But then a few weeks ago, I was just thinking about it, and I went through and I updated my profile, because a lot has changed in my life, especially in the last couple of years. And, you know, my beauty habits and things I've tried, and so I, you know, updated all of that, and, you know, immediately I got a little pop-up saying, oh, you know, this is the stuff that you qualify for right now. And I'm like, oh, cool. And one of them was a sample from Makeup Forever. So I was pretty excited about that. And it finally came in the mail last night. And it takes a while to come in. I think I ordered it maybe close to a month ago. But it gave me a couple of color options to choose from. And yeah, I'd say the coverage right now is about medium at best. And it's building okay. I just have a really bad breakout right down here on my jawline. Just kind of my fault, because I was messing with them the other night. I get these really bad pimples along my jaw that are probably caused by the fact that I sit here like this all day. But yeah, I tried popping maybe one or two of them the other night that just weren't ready, and I knew that they weren't ready, but I was just so determined to get rid of them. So I'm gonna go in with this a little bit of extra concealer, and this is my Maybelline Master Camo. And we're just going to go in with a little bit of green to hide the redness. And mix that with a little bit of the darker concealer color. Okay. And blend that in. Okay. Well, I definitely like the shade. The shade is a good match for me, considering they gave me like 3 options to pick from. I'm not hating the color match. And I'll leave down in the description box how it wore through the day and what I thought about it. Today's not going to be too long of a day for me, luckily. Well, it's going to be a long day at work. I work for a newspaper and I work in sales, but I also do deliveries on Wednesday. So today is delivery day. So it's a little bit nicer than it's been lately. So at least I have that to look forward to. I'm not going to be out in the rain and the cold. Well, it's going to be cold. It's going to be like 50s today. But it's not 40s and it's not 30s. So at least I got that going for me. And this is the Liquid Camouflage from Catrice. I was really excited because I finally found this at Ulta. You know, I don't like to order things online when I don't have to. And I knew that there was the Ulta out by the mall near me had it, but the Ulta near me hasn't had it. And I walked into the store the other day. I had a $5 gift card from buying NYX products a few weeks earlier. And it was burning a hole in my pocket. I wanted to get rid of it. And I saw them setting up a new Catrice stand. And I was like, oh. So I left the store and I came back the next day. And they were still setting it up. I'm like, really? But they had just put the Catrice concealers onto the shelf. And so I reached around the woman who was setting it up and I grabbed it. I don't know if I should have done that, but she didn't argue with me. So, and I've talked about this in another video. It's okay. I don't hate it. I'm still using it every day. I'm getting a good feel for it. It doesn't crease, so I like that. I'm just not sure I love the coverage, and this is as light as they make it. So, yeah, there's that. But I'm sure that, you know, a couple months down the line when I finally have a tan again, that it'll be fine. Pale white girl problems, right? Okay, so we are going to go in next with my Coty Airspun and my Cake and Bake sponge. And just dab that on under the eye. And under that one. I mentioned this in my beauty products I've been using for decades video. And I just love this product so much. I don't know what I would ever do if they went out of business or discontinued it. I mean, I can't imagine why they would. But every time I use this, I just think of my mom. And it just reminds me of being a little girl. Because I talk about in the video how I used to use the big fluffy applicator it would come with, and I just think I was just the fanciest thing in the whole wide world. Alright, so we're gonna let that bake and let us go in with my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I actually did buy a new one of these yesterday, and I got it at CVS. And like I mentioned in my last video, I had a bunch of coupons for it, and so it was gonna take it down to like $4, which is exactly what ended up happening. So I paid $4.28 for a new Physicians Formula butter bronzer, which I think it's like $16 at CVS. And I feel like I might be crazy, but I think that CVS charges more for everything. But you never end up paying full price for anything there either, because, you know, I paid my $4 for it, and I got a coupon for $10 off my my next purchase. You know, the more CVS reward bucks, because I spent $14 on a Physicians Formula product. Well, I mean, first of all, most Physicians Formula products are going to be more than $14 anyway, so basically it's almost like a buy one, get one. You buy one and you get $10 off towards, you know, the next one. But, yeah, so I spent $4 and they gave me $10, and I was like, well, you know, I'm not going to argue with you people. So there's a new Maybelline lipstick, and I know that I should be so done with lipsticks. But I talked about it in my favorite lipstick formulas. The Maybelline lipsticks, you know, high-end, drugstore, doesn't matter. They are just my absolute favorite formula for lipsticks. So they can do whatever they want, and I will keep buying it. But the new formula they have, it's not like one of the regular formulas. It's a powder and a matte powder, whatever that means. So there's definitely a shade in the collection that I'm interested in, so I might just take that $10 that CVS gave me yesterday and go back and see if I can find it, because I'd seen it at Walgreens, because I go back and forth all day long. So I'll go back to CVS and see if I can find that Maybelline lipstick and let you know whether or not I am in love with that formula too. Right. And time to dust. And we'll just dust that off and take it up the jawline and under the eyes. And just take it right around the nose to kind of set that in there. And dust, blend, blend, blend. All right. So next we'll go in with my blush, and what blush do I want to use today? Let us use, let's go for a nice springy color, and we'll go in with the California blush brush. I think I mentioned this before, but I really wanted to try the California from the moment that I saw it. And when I found out that that was just a spray overlay that made it look so pretty, I kind of fell out of love with it really, really hard and really, really quick. But I am glad I found this little palette, because it gave me an opportunity to try it without the overlay. And I really do love it. I don't know if I would repurchase it, especially in that box that it comes in, because it's just going to have that overlay on it again, and that overlay is going to change the color initially of it, and it's going to leave gold sparkles, which actually was what I loved about it. But you know, I thought, you know, because I think it came out like in like the late spring for the summer, and I was like, oh, that's going to be so pretty, you know. And when I found out that those gold sparkles weren't in it, I was like, well, that's just sad. So, blend, blend, blend. All right. I think that looks pretty good. And I think I look very, very spring without looking like a unicorn. Do one more mirror, one more angle. I think I have like one, two, three mirrors right now, going back and forth between all of them, checking myself out. All right, so next we are going to do the highlight, and I think we are just gonna go in with a pink highlight, and we're gonna use the Wet n Wild Mega Glow in Botanic Dreams, and just a nice round highlighting brush and right down the cheeks. I mentioned before that as far as drugstore highlighters go, these Wet n Wild ones are my absolute favorite. We're blending, and then we're going to take just this foundation brush, but I use it for highlight because it's great for getting up into the corner there, and it is really good for putty highlighters. So if you have any putty highlighters like the Stila one or the Physicians Formula Butter highlight, this is really what is going to make that pop, because regular brushes are not going to work on that consistency. And I mean, you could use your fingers, that works absolutely fine too, but if you'd like to use a brush like a synthetic foundation brush like this, this is an e.l.f. brush, it's a white brush, so I'm probably sure it was $1 or $2 at the most, works amazing to get that on. So next, let's go in with some eyeliner and finish up the under part of my eye. And this is the, I want to say this is called, Tropical Green. This is the NYX Slide On Glide Ons. And we're just going to take it right under there. And we're not going to do the whole eye, because I never do the whole eye, because it closes up your eye. Anything dark you're going to put underneath your eye is just going to, or around your eye, it's just going to make your eyes seem smaller and less opened. And then we're going to get my smudge brush and go back into that Take Me Back to Brazil palette. And let's use the lime green this time. Just take that and go in under to set and smudge that out. And do the same thing on the top, just kind of smudge it out and soften it up. Okay, we're almost there. So now we are going to set the face, and this is actually not the e.l.f. setting spray. I do have one, but I just love the sprayer on this. These bottles are amazing. That is a combination of my own device. It's rose water, glycerin, and water. Rose water is going to soften your skin, and glycerin is actually the main ingredient in most setting sprays. So like the MAC Fix Plus, the main ingredient is glycerin. So not only is it setting my makeup, it is conditioning my skin to make it softer. And it is my go-to every day, and it just helps my skin glow and my makeup stay in place all day. But I do have a few of those e.l.f. ones because they're $3, I want to say, and they come in a couple different varieties now. There's like a luminizing one and a matte one, and then just like their classic original version. And I like to keep them in the summer and the winter, because in the summer, you know, if I start having like a meltdown in the middle of the day, I just spray my face down, do a little blot here, and it takes care of that. And then In the winter, you know, just being in the heat all day, your skin gets kind of dry and icky, so it's just a nice little refresher throughout the day. So I do keep one of those in my purse. So we're gonna go in and curl my lashes now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I don't want to do fake lashes today. I'm just not in the mood for fake lashes. So we're going to do the Stila Huge. If you are in the mood for big lashes, but don't feel like the fake ones, this stuff is really good. I can't think of a drugstore equivalent for it, but I'm sure there is one. I've been using the Bad Gal Bang 2 recently, and it's definitely, I don't think it's going to be something I'm going to repurchase. What it reminds me though of is the L'Oreal Telescopic in Carbon, but the Carbon is a drier formula, so it doesn't like get everywhere, but the brushes are very similar on the two, and I think I just prefer the L'Oreal one over the Benefit one. Okay, that's it. What do we think? Spring without the unicorn? Alright, so that's all I got for you today, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.